Your assumption that kangaroos and koalas are the only animals living in Australia is completely false. The arid continent in question harbors the world's second most expansive inhabited desert, to the point that it resembles a residential area. Moreover, Australia, the sixth most populous nation globally, is characterized by its arid terrain. However, its population of merely 26 million individuals is more akin to that of North Korea and is hardly sufficient to celebrate a child's birthday. However, the apparent isolation of this desert should not mislead you, as the CIA, NSA, and NRO have a massive military base in the country's center, as if the United States had competed for Australia as a new state. With 800 personnel, this base is among the most closely guarded secrets in international geopolitics. Therefore, if you assumed Australia was all sea and beaches, you were mistaken. It also contains secret US bases and deserts. You are aware, correct? Put that popcorn aside, place your finger on the like button, and let's proceed. Embark on an informative expedition into the Australian outback, where a premier intelligence facility covers its operations among the expansive expanses of Central Australia. The governments of the United States and Australia jointly run Pine Gap Base, which houses hundreds of exceptionally skilled intelligence officers who conduct operations in a remote area with no major cities nearby. 10 minutes southwest of the small town of Alice Springs, one will encounter foreboding indications cautioning against further exploration. However, what exactly do these indications conceal? Unravel the mystery surrounding the lengthy and enigmatic past of the top-secret joint intelligence base Pine Gap, also known by the codename Project Rain, which you've probably never heard of unless you've watched the Netflix series of the same name. Discussion of this location. One can only imagine the mounting tension that characterized the Cold War, during which the United States and the Soviet Union, the two superpowers of the world, engaged in a dangerous game of cat and mouse. In the 1960s, both countries initiated the deployment of satellites into outer space. Following the initial launch of intelligence-gathering satellites, they recognized the critical nature of maintaining real-time control over these platforms in order to remotely observe geopolitical enemies. Within this framework, an American facility was constructed to facilitate the operation of American intelligence and spy satellites. However, what prompted their selection of the exact geographic center of the Australian continent? 3 categories of strategically significant factors influence this decision. To begin, consider a possible scenario in which a foreign intelligence vessel going through the region would be unable to intercept the signals coming from the base's satellites. Situated on the mainland of Australia, more than 900 kilometers from the nearest coast, such an isolated location would effectively prevent any attempt by a potential foreign spy ship to intercept the base's satellite signals. The base's location in deep Australia, a country that was extremely friendly and allied with the United States and far from any significant Australian population centers along the coast, was the second factor. Lastly, and arguably most significantly, a site where the elevation of the floor and adjacent slopes must not surpass 6 degrees in relation to the exact coordinates of the Pine Gap site. By establishing such a base, satellites positioned as far east as 60 degrees and west as 153 degrees could be effectively linked, thereby providing extensive coverage of China, North Korea, the Indian subcontinent, and a substantial portion of the Soviet Union at the time. In 1966, when the United States and Australia signed a treaty mandating the establishment of a United States satellite surveillance base in Australia, the Pine Gap episode started. Hundreds of American families were subsequently relocated to the heartland of the outback, where operations commenced in 1970. Despite this, the base in question constitutes an integral component of a more expansive intelligence alliance called the the Five Eyes. The United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, the five major English-speaking democracies, have founded the Five Eyes, an impressive intelligence alliance. Established during World War II and further developed throughout the Cold War, this framework facilitated seamless collaboration and data exchange among the intelligence agencies of member nations. With the emergence of new threats, including China, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, the alliance's importance in safeguarding global security grew even more prominent. Collectively, the Five Eyes comprise an extraordinary and exceedingly efficient intelligence network. In the 45 years since its inception, Pine Gap has developed into an intelligence empire with approximately 40 antennas distributed throughout the location. This classified base has maintained its critical function of supplying U.S. intelligence agencies with priceless intelligence. Furthermore, Pine Gap ensured that nothing went unnoticed by operating at least 9 geosynchronous satellites that belong to these agencies. Security and global stability remain at the forefront of this remarkable operation as it evolves and expands. Consider an observatory satellite with the capability to simultaneously observe half of the Earth's surface. The term for this type of technology is geosynchronous orbit. These satellites, in contrast to those that orbit the Earth multiple times daily, maintain a stationary course which enables them to gather a huge amount of data from a vast region beneath them. They maintain their position at the same altitude of approximately 36,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface throughout a single spin, a process that requires the same amount of time as one Earth rotation. This orbit provides spying satellites with a significant advantage: the capacity to simultaneously observe a vast area. It is comparable to possessing eyes in the sky that track activity across a significant portion of the planet in real time. Pine Gap is where 3 surveillance satellites in geosynchronous orbit are operational. By virtue of their strategic placements above the Western Indian Ocean, the Indonesian island of Sumatra, and westward of the Indonesian archipelago, these satellites are capable of overseeing an extensive spectrum of operations in essential areas such as West Africa, the Middle East, Ukraine, Russia, Iran, Afghanistan, China, and North Korea. Satellites are able to detect a wide range of electronic signals, including cellular phone calls, radio communications, radar emissions, microwaves, broadcasts, missiles, telemetry, and satellite transmissions. The information is essential for intelligence agencies in the United States and their Five Eyes partners. Intelligence agencies benefit from unparalleled satellite coverage in all areas of strategic concern due to the satellite's orbit. This enables them to effectively monitor adversarial operations, promptly address critical situations, and avoid potential risks to worldwide security. It's crucial that intelligence agencies tasked with maintaining global security gather information from satellites positioned in crucial areas. Upon being gathered, this data is instantly transmitted back to the Pine Gap base, situated in the central region of Australia, via a signal. The prestigious British MI6 and the well-known American CIA are among the intelligence agencies of the Five Eyes member states who have immediate access to the satellite data. It is indisputable that the intelligence capabilities of the United States, which are sourced from satellite sites worldwide, including Pine Gap, are unparalleled by any other intelligence organization. I sincerely appreciate all those who viewed the video and trust that you all acquired significant knowledge regarding this critical topic. Remember to subscribe to the channel and provide feedback and recommendations for subsequent videos.